The life of a Jinchuriki is pretty unfortunate, to say the least. You see, what's ironic is that a Jinchuriki exists for the purpose of protecting the village. Yet in most cases, Jinchuriki are loathed by the villagers they're meant to protect. The tailed beasts are a large collection of chakra, turned into 9 separate beasts, and each beast is capable of great destruction. During the time of the dawning of the villages, the first Hokage collected all the tailed beasts and distributed them amongst the villages, in an attempt to establish a balance in the power distribution, in an effort for peace. Over time, these beasts started to get sealed into people, Jinchuriki hosts, to fully utilize the beast. The fate enforced upon a Jinchuriki is not an easy one, as now you have to share your body with a beast in a continuous struggle for control. However, tailed beasts weren't just monsters. They had names, and they were capable of human speech. The fact that they were used as nothing more than weapons of mass destruction by humans, many of the tailed beasts were not okay with that, and rebelled at any chance they got. A lot of times, the tailed beast within the Jinchuriki would struggle for control and would rampage through the village when given that control. Due to the nature of these beasts, they were capable of causing destruction to a very large scale. Many times they destroyed the village they're meant to protect, killing countless civilians along with it, which made these beasts both feared and hated by the villagers. And most of the times, the Jinchuriki would be on the receiving end of that hatred. The Jinchuriki were loathed, outcasted, and ostracized by the villagers, even though they only exist to protect said villagers. It wasn't an easy task to control the tailed beast within. It required great mental fortitude, a lot of love, and for one to be at complete peace with oneself. But it was hard to be any of the mentioned above when everyone in the village views you as a monster, a hideous beast. This is most evident with Jinchuriki like Naruto and Gaara, neither of whom had any say in being made into a Jinchuriki. Gaara was made into a Jinchuriki since he was the only child of the Kazekage that was compatible with the Shukaku. On top of losing his mother due to the sealing of the tailed beasts, Gaara's life was held in isolation, as no one was allowed to interact with the Jinchuriki, and no one wanted to anyways. He didn't have full control over the beast, and due to that, he was deemed as a failure by the Hidden Sands Council. And after his father attempted to test him one last time, he lost control and rampaged as the Shukaku. He soon accepted his fate and decided to retaliate to the villagers' hatred with his own hatred, becoming an unstable powerhouse that can easily kill when provoked. Naruto's fate was not that far off from Gaara. After leaked documents revealed that Naruto was the brat in which Kurama was sealed following the Nine Tails attack and the death of the 4th Hokage, it didn't take long for villagers to blame Naruto for the attack that took place long ago. People didn't distinguish between Naruto and his tailed beast, and he'd always be viewed as a foreigner and a nuisance by the villagers, even though the 4th Hokage had sealed the beast within his son in hopes that he'd be revered as a hero. But the people could never view him as such, not until he's proved himself at least. Not much is known about the life of the other Jinchuriki, but when Gaara faces Naruto and Kakashi, he makes a statement that implies that the Jinchuriki caught by the Akatsuki during the time skip were despised by the villagers as well, and that the villagers were relieved when they were captured. That's another thing that I didn't mention yet. On top of the animosity in their lives, the Jinchuriki would all be hunted down and killed by a group of criminals named the Akatsuki. None of them asked to be a Jinchuriki in the first place, and now due to plans orchestrated by someone else, they had to keep an eye on their shoulder for the looming threat of the Akatsuki. During all the backlash that most Jinchuriki faced, the Jinchuriki and the tailed beast within had always been at odds. But this guy, well, he's something different. Killer Bee, like the rest, was groomed when he was just a child to become the 8 Tails Jinchuriki. He was chosen to be the tag partner for the future 4th Raikage, A, and when the former Jinchuriki of the 8 Tails died, and the succeeding 8 Tails rampage, B was selected as the next Jinchuriki, a fate that he didn't have much of a say in. B's treatment as a Jinchuriki was no different from the rest. Due to the deaths caused by the 8 Tails, the villagers loathed and vilified Killer Bee and treated him like a monster. Even his best friend Motoi came to detest the fact that he became a Jinchuriki and even attempted to kill him in the hopes that he'd put a stop to the Eight Tails. Killer Bee was truly shunned. However, Killer Bee was different from the other Jinchuriki. Despite the false hatred levied on him, Killer Bee never let that hatred get to him. I don't know, maybe it's because he was a rapper that he was used to all that hate, but he knew to not let hatred consume him. He truly possessed a will stronger than the others, and for that he'd be revered as a hero in the future. Killer Bee eventually went to the Fountain of Truth on Turtle Island to learn how to control the power of the Eight Tails, and would go on to surpass his brother A, the fourth Raikage. Due to the ostracism faced by most Jinchuriki, the tailed beast sealed within and the Jinchuriki host were usually at odds, viewing each other as competitors for control rather than partners that share the same body. Killer Bee and the Eight Tails, Gyuki, had a true friendship. Gyuki cared for Bee and was always there to support him, seeing as how Killer Bee was able to break out of Sasuke's genjutsu with ease because Gyuki was there to back him up. And even towards the end of the war arc, when the tailed beasts were getting absorbed by the ghetto statue, Gyuki's main concern wasn't getting sealed into the statue, but how Killer Bee would die if he gets the bijou extracted from him. Which is why he chops off a tentacle of his to ensure that his Jinchuriki is unharmed by the bijou extraction. There was a reason that Naruto was selected to go to Turtle Island and train under Killer Bee, as the Nine Tails was a huge asset for the Shinobi Alliance, and if Naruto managed to develop a relationship with Kurama similar to the one that Bee had with Gyuki, then his powers would be unparalleled, as seen when he enters his KCM2 form, all of which was thanks to Killer Bee, who taught him how to live with and befriend the beast within. I've always considered Killer Bee to be a legend, and a character that doesn't get enough credit or praise. In a world where everyone struggles to fit in, we have a Jinchuriki dealt one of the worst hands by life. Yet somehow he succeeds and becomes a hero of his village, even before the main character does. And now he gets to enjoy his time and throw the biggest and hottest concerts that the Hidden Cloud has ever seen. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Check out my channel for more videos and I'll see you in the next time.